Hi guys, so welcome to Famous Desserts new YouTube channel. So today is for those that have been asking me how I started my baking business. So this is another TED talk to just give you guys gist on how I actually stumbled on the baking business. Make it a point of note to know that my mom is actually a baker, right? But yeah, we are four in my family, but why was it only me that actually took the kind of interest that I took in baking business and actually made it into a business that it is known for today? Okay, so basically, I'm a lawyer by profession. Everybody knows that at least about 65% of people that know me know that I'm actually a qualified barrister. But the fact is, how I started my baking business, I think this is about my ninth year in the baking business now. It was during my youth service. To think that all through university days, I never even baked as much as a cupcake in uni. Can you just imagine? I never baked anything, even as much as a puff puff or anything. I mean, I never did it. I was just all about my books and, of course, a little sprinkle of the social life that I have. So moving on, after university, I went down to the Nigerian law school. I did my thing there. I passed with good grades, and then when I had to do my national youth service, alright, the compulsory 1 year national youth service. Now note that I didn't start my baking business because I didn't have a job, alright. I think it was just the passion that actually overrided the interest in the legal profession. So what I did was I was actually staying with one of my family members then, and they were gonna get a cake for a client for their son. And for some reason, I just told them that I could do it. Guys, let me tell you, my first ever baking was a total disaster. I'm not sure anybody would have had that kind of disaster that I had. Let me just you guys. I read it up on YouTube. I went on Google to check on how. You see, I was moving forward. I didn't even learn how to bake, starting with vanilla cake. I think that was why along the years I had a lot of problems with my vanilla cake recipe. At a point, some clients actually told me it's actually dry and hard. Oh my god! And that was when I was only just starting. So you see, if you listen clearly or listen closely or carefully to this my story today, you'll be able to pick one or two lessons that you would apply into your own baking business. Alright, so where was I? I actually went to start learning red velvet. You know how red velvet is so technical. I didn't pick the simple recipe. I went ahead because I think it was my favorite recipe, then it was my favorite cake, then my most preferred cake then. So I just went ahead to read about it, and trust me, the recipe that I learned then was actually good, but that is not even what I'm using now because I've been able to walk around building and creating my own personal recipe that is actually exclusive to me, except of course I put it out there, which is already in my membership platform anyway. I bought it all there, so there is really nothing to hide. Now going forward, I went ahead to learn how to make the recipe. And guys, do you know what I didn't do right? I forgot to oil my pan for an oil-based recipe that I had to butter the pan too. I was so excited. You could have seen the palpable excitement of me being a baby baker. Not a baby baker, I was actually happy that I could actually try my hands on this thing. I'd seen my mom do these things over the years, but obviously she wasn't even doing the dessert parts of baking. She was more about the rich fruit cakes that was typical wedding cakes, and then the regular vanilla pound cake, not even the sponge cake, because in the location that is actually what appealed to them, and that's actually what was feasible at them. But you know how baking has actually evolved from just doing fruit cakes or regular vanilla pound cake. So I actually just used her knowledge as a stepping stone, because by the way, I picked up all of her baking pans and actually took over her kitchen well before I got married, and actually had to establish myself on my own. So that was actually good for me because I had a little bit of a soft landing, knowing that I had someone to guide me through, even if I had to go and operate myself along the line. So that's another lesson for anybody that's listened up until this point. Now, what was I saying? I forgot to oil the pan. Ladies and gentlemen, after about 45 minutes bake time, the cake actually rised properly, looked really nice. I mean, to the best of my knowledge. it was time to turn it out of the pan. And guess what? We had an event that day. Now, this happened before I actually decided to take up the one that I told you that my family member's son was going to have. Okay, this happened whilst I went home for one of the holidays. So we had people around, my sister's friends and all of that, and they were all waiting for the super amazing red velvet that finished earlier I've been talking about. Lo and behold, our lovely red velvet didn't come out of the pan. I obviously did not get the memo. I obviously didn't know how important it was for you to oil your pan and then go ahead to dust it up with flour to give it a good padding so it could come out easily. We used spoons to scoop it out directly from the pan. Oh my god, I cried. I couldn't even believe it. I think it was because I used my money to buy up the ingredients and everything, and nobody gave me any money, and it was just like a very woeful attempt at trying something. But trust me, my sister's friends and everyone around me told me that, oh no, this is the first time, don't make it look so bad. It actually tastes so nice. It's actually so tasty, not too sweet and all that. Only that next time you learn from your mistakes, and definitely you would avoid having this. That is the reason why for anybody that comes in here to learn anything baking, or even online class or anything that regards to baking, the first thing I always teach is how to oil your pan properly, because there's how to oil your pan and there's how to oil it very properly. Because if you do not, it actually takes a second for you to have a ruined effort. Imagine you've been working since morning, prepping and everything, and then it's time to turn out your cake. If you are lucky enough, you can actually hit it gently a few times and it will pop out. But if you were so unlucky as I was that time, everything just broke into bits and pieces, and we just had to, thank God it wasn't for any customer or any important order. So yeah, I learned from that. So guys, the summary of all of this, my talk and my gist, is this. I need you to pick out about 3 to 4 points from my story. Number 1, you don't need any special pattern or any special procedure or process before you can decide to start up your baking business or any business that you found interest in trying to turn into a business. All right, even if it is your talent or something that you have passion in, you really do not need anything too extraordinary or spectacular before you get going. Just do it, just start it up. Okay, everything will fix itself up along the line. Okay, it's very okay to make your mistakes along the line, as long as you're ready and very willing to learn from these mistakes to avoid making them another time or at other times. Okay, that's the number 1 lesson. Number 2 lesson is you really do not need a lot of capital to kickstart your business, especially despite the fact that baking business is very intensive, capital intensive rather. But you really do not need to rob a bank or to go borrowing to start up a business. Just start it. I think the slogan here is just start it, and when you start it, you know that everything will fall in place for you. Be very open to learning. Once you start up your business, don't stay redundant or don't stay on one spot doing the same things over and over again. Always ensure to do things differently, evolve, take up trainings along the line. Once you pick up your business and you start it up and you have your family and friends to actually help you to kickstart it with your patronage, you'd use the proceeds from that to actually improve yourself and invest in yourself before you then go ahead to start talking about profit in the long run. Profit will never come at the get-go, okay? Because you need to build up a structure, you need to create a niche for yourself, you need to do what you have to do, even whilst using your own personal funds to kickstart this thing. And by the time you are able to break open even in a little way to get some profit, use those little profits to then improve yourself so that you can open the opportunity and more doors for you to now make the bigger profits and get a bigger picture that you've been projecting and dreaming to achieve. You can do it, you can achieve it. I did it and you can do it too. So even if you do not have a baking mom or anybody in your family that has a history of baking that can actually help you or spoil you or give you the motivation to start, go up online, check up recipes, try them out multiple times before you actually announce officially that you are going into baking business. Ensure you are equipped with the necessary recipes you need to even endear people to you, so that when they even take the chance or the risk to come and patronize you, they would not be disappointed, even if they know that you don't have some structures like some packaging and all of those paparazzi in place. They know that this is what they call the little beginnings. Always appreciate your little beginnings and never ever take them for granted. No matter what you attain in life, no matter the height or the peak you get to, always remember the time where you were just struggling to, get relevant and find your feet in whatever business that you're doing right now. As for me, I would never ever forget when I actually baked up a cake without properly preparing my cake pan, and when I had such a cake disaster. Thankfully, it was just for exclusive family members, so it wasn't so much of a disaster. But I learned from it, I held on to it, and I never let it go. I never let it go. So even for those that come to me as a staff or as an intern or as students, they always go back equipped with that knowledge. It might look like it's minute, but guys, or let me just say, bakers, if you think it's actually minute or irrelevant, okay, bake up your cake, all of your cakes, and pour them in a pan that is not oiled. You would understand without any further ado what I'm talking about, and you would understand the kind of annoyance and sadness that I had at that time, even though I was just starting. So I think that's going to be all for today. The lessons are: go for it. If you decided that you're going to do not let anybody distract you, don't let anybody discourage you. Go for it, and go for it by all means. Go right into it and make sure you put in your best foot forward at all times. If it doesn't make sense right now, it would eventually make sense in the nearest future, okay? As long as you stay consistent and you let things take its natural course. So that will be all for today. I hope you've learned a thing or two. I hope that you're going to be taking it a little more easy with yourself. Don't set unrealistic targets or boundaries that would get you too overwhelmed or too freaked out. Just take it one day at a time, and trust me when I tell you, you're gonna do just fine. So stay close, guys, for more TED Talks, and of course for more amazing recipes that I will keep on releasing, so that our online cake university can continually evolve and we can continually build a good social network here, right? I'm happy to always meet you guys. I'm happy to always bear my mind to you all, and to always share the little I think you might need to know. Alright, so till next time, guys, I remain your favorite girl, your favorite baker girl, Famous Desserts Girl. Bye for now.